So when we talk about money transfers, there are two elements to it. So you have remittances, which is really transferring money across the borders. So from Kenya to any part of the world and vice versa. You also have the in-country transfers, which is your M-Pesa, your Airtel Money, and the likes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but for now that you've mentioned the international and then the local, I know, for instance, EcoBank has got its own rapid transfer. Is that any different from what we see with Western Union or MoneyGram, or is it just your own brand of money transfer across the globe?
So Rapid Transfer is EcoBank's standalone brand, and basically the element of transfer still remains, which is just like Western Union, MoneyGram, which we actually also have at our branches. But the difference is that we focus on the customer need. We know that remittances globally is very expensive. Stands at 9.7%.
Wow.
And Rapid Transfer offers you the deal,
Alright.
which is maximum 3% of whatever you're sending.
Okay.
And what Rapid Transfer also does is we are digital. So we offer application. You can send money off your phone from anywhere in the world. So walking into branches is still an option, but you still have the key to control how you want to send it by the use of your phone.
You mentioned 9%. So that means that because I'm trying to do that math in my head, or Pastor Nganga would call it mathematic, for every 100,000 I transfer, I spend about 9,000. Yes. Wow.
That's global. And if you come to Africa, it's a different game altogether.
All right.
So in Africa, the average is 10% and above.
What?
Yeah.
Within why are we so expensive to ourselves?
I guess it's the game. But as EcoBank, we are coming up with the solutions that matter.
Okay.
We know about the SDG and a global goal of bringing down remittances to at least below 3%.
All right.
And as EcoBank, we are starting this game.
3%
so you can,
is a good place to start. Helen,
yes.
You do a lot of course, import, export. First of all, where do you get your product, your clothes from?
We get them from Turkey.
From Turkey?
Yes.
Hapa tu. See, Turkey, you fly for what? Is it 5 hours?
6, 7 hours.
6, 7 hours.
Yes.
Okay. So do you go there yourself, or do you have? Okay. So how does it happen? You travel there, and then you have specific shops where you go to, or you just land, kuna mtu anakungojea airport, anakupatia your bags, anakwambia tuonane?
No. There's a very big market.
Okay.
So we go there. And then you go to different shops, sampling them. And like there are specific places for shirts.
All right.
There are specific places for trousers, for suits, like that.
Okay.
So, and there are specific shops for that.
All right.
So you go to all the shops that you know.
Right.
See what they have, then pick what you want.
All right.
Yeah.
And so, because I'm assuming you don't travel with bags and bags of money. You
No.
know, like at 1 million, unafika pale hivyo airport. So how do you do your transfer in terms of your cash?
There are so many ways of doing that. You can either give your money to the shipping company, the company you're going to use, of which they do that. They do that for free.
All right.
And you can also carry it with you. In terms of dollars, so it's not a lot. Yeah, it's not. It's in terms of dollars.
All right.
Yeah.
Because 1 million in dollars inaweza kuwa stick.
Yeah. si kubwa sana.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then you can also send via the bank. That is the RTGS. Yeah.
So you understand all these systems. You just get onto your computer or your phone and you transfer, $10,000 to some Rashid in Turkey, and then you get them. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's quite interesting, because Mimi, I do not trust anyone I do not see with my money. Mimi kama sikuoni by day, pesa yangu, you will not touch my money, no matter what happens.
But there are records.
Yeah.
And these guys have done that for many years, so they're used to that.
But it must have been scary when you started.
Not really.
It's not like you just, came up with this business idea and you went to Turkey and you identified, a Peter, and you told Peter, I am going to give you $10,000, give me my things. You must have done some research into it, of course.
Yeah. And of course, there was a bit of carrying the money with me.
Okay.
The first few days, the first few times.
Unajua before ufike airport, kuna hako ka place watu pitianga. Uogopi kuwekwa nyongolo. Hapo Mulolongo, watu wa Mulolongo, unajua kina Peter Muleya wa kwangi. All right, we'll get to that. Josephine, the technology behind this money transfer, is it as complicated as you think? Because there are so many forms of money transfer, especially now that we use our phones. There are the apps, we have the USSD, I mean, probably just briefly tell us, how is the technology behind all this transfer?
Okay, first let me take you through the journey.
All right.
Based on the questions that, the conversation with you and Helen.
Right.
So money transfer, in simple term, it's just transfer, sending money from one person to another person, right?
Yes.
It's just sending money from one person to another person. So initially it used to take the form of a human being.
Right.
Like, when my grandfather was a young boy, he would be sent, carry the money, run across the village and give someone else.
Right.
Then the problem with that is that everybody would know that nimeletewa pesa.
Yes.
Okay, so to solve that problem, then we had posters. So now you don't need to send shemeji going to shags with money. You can send to poster. You go to poster, deposit
like you put
money.
It in a, you
put it in an envelope, and then you send the money to whoever you want to send it to.
Right.
Now that one brought well, it was more convenient than everybody in shags knowing that nimeletewa pesa.
Exactly.
So now that the poster now thing is that now it was easier.
Yes.
But the problem is that it was not safe. Like now we had cases of people opening the envelope.
So they would know that I have sent 1,000 bob to my grandma.
Yes, they had a way. They had a way to know that this envelope has
wanaangalia tu hivi against the light, wanaona hii ni pesa.
So haifiki mwenyewe.
Right.
So because of that, now technology came in. Now we discovered this local area network and wide area network.
Right.
So the local area network enables us to send money within. The wide area network enables us to send money across border. Yeah.
Hey, hiyo ni technology imeongelelewa hapo.
Okay, so now came in the money transfers, the cross border that Charity was talking about.
Right. The Western Union.
The Western Union, the PayPal, the Habshil.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that one, it's expensive, and it's not that everybody has a need to send money outside.
Yeah.
And then now technology came in now to resolve that problem.
Right.
Now we have our own local way of sending money, which now we have mobile mobile operators. We have Safaricom for M-Pesa, Orange Money, Airtel Money, where you can send money.
Telecom cash and so on.
Telecom cash.
Right.
Now that one, the problem is now, well, it was now easier than now money from the envelope being opened.
Right.
Okay, but now this one introduced another challenge, which is that you need to have a bank account. Not everybody needs a bank account or has a bank account.
Right.
My auntie in Shags doesn't have a bank account.
My grandma doesn't have.
But I need to send money to them.
Right.
Then now technology now evolved again.
Right.
Now we have M-Pesa, like local money transfer, where your SIM card is actually your account.
Your bank account.
Yeah, your SIM card is your account. To the user, it's very seamless. You really don't know what is. You just know that I can send money and the other person can receive money real time. But behind it, now it's what we call third-party integrations. Like, for example, EcoBank wants to facilitate their customers to send money via Western Union.
Right.
We do something called integration. Now that's where my company software group comes.
So you are the third party.
Yeah. We are the facilitators of the communication between the third.
Platform.
We provide the platform.
Okay.
We provide the platform.
Right.
So what we do is that we come and tell EcoBank, you want to send money. So me and my integration, I'll read. Send money to America, then take this money and transfer it to another bank in America. That is Western Union. You know that integration, that middleman. Yeah. That is where now we come in. We facilitate EcoBank talking to Western Union, for example, or a customer with account in a EcoBank, being able to send money to get money from their account, bank account, to an M-Pesa account, which is a virtual account.
Let me actually just stop you there, because Charity, I want to rope you into that conversation. What she has explained to, at least we are learned, we are educated to some extent, but explaining that to a simple customer who just comes into your branch and says, me, I want to transfer money to my aunt in America, or I want to receive money from my aunt in America. How does, is it a complicated procedure for the bank to just have that for us people, normal people?
So as the bank, we don't go into the nitty-gritties of how this solution is done. We offer the service. So what the customer wants to know is the service available? The answer is yes. So the bank explains what the service is, not the technology behind. So we speak to her for the technology. I want to send money to America, and I want to use EcoBank EcoBank account to deliver money to America.
The States, yes.
So whether it's to an M-Pesa number that is roaming there,
right,
or it is to another American bank account, or it is to a card, the customer wants to know, will my money get to America?
So we even now have those cards thingies.
Yes, we do have cards.
Helen, when she was explaining all that, I'm sure 90% of what she has said, for you, you really don't care. You just want to know, mimi pesa yangu imefika Turkey. Si ndio? Na nimepata vitu zangu, my clothes, and you come back with them. In terms of the number of times that you've done all these transfers, have you ever once, met yourself with a challenge?
The only challenge, there are some banks that limit you.
Okay.
The amount of money you want to send, there are some banks that will limit you. Like there's some banks that will not allow you withdraw like more than $1 million bob a day.
Right.
So if maybe I want to send 3 million to Turkey, I'll have nothing. I have that money. It's an example I'm giving.
Security. No one will come after you, but I understand what you mean.
It's an example I'm giving.
Yeah.
So if I want to withdraw 3 million, or rather to transfer,
right,
I'm limited. I can only do maybe up to 1M, up to a certain amount.
Right.
So I'll have to do that 3 days. And you know, it's, 3 times.
So 24 hours.
Yeah,
so
24
if you,
hours. Every 24 hours, 1M. Every 24 hours,
another
1M.
M.
Yes.
Evo, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it becomes very expensive for us. Very, very expensive for us. Eh?
Wow.
And so,
yeah,
in fact, like me, what I prefer, I have a dollar account. So when I go there, I just swipe my card.
Yes.
Swipe my card. It's still so expensive, yeah? But sometimes you don't have a choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Charity, again, now that she has mentioned that dollar account, mimi ninasikianga dollar. I'll be very honest. I only hear of dollar accounts.
Just from these people.
Okay. Yes, I have never really understood the concept, especially when it comes to transferring my money, because at the time my brother used to study in Uganda, and we had to transfer money to him all the time. And these exchange rates sometimes, they do affect our transfer, because from my end, you will tell me, for you to transfer 100,000 Kenya shillings will cost me this much. But I also need to go back and, calculate this money back into dollars. I mean, doesn't it, at the end of the day, take more money from me? Because now I lose money, first of all, in the exchange, in the Forex exchange, and more money in the transfer.
It does, but unfortunately, the economy plays it. So what we do as the bank is to offer you solutions that the exchange rate and the money transfer is not as expensive. So you incur the exchange rate, which we really don't have much control over, because it depends on how the exchange economy is. However, as the bank, we have control on what the actual cost of sending that money is. And that's why we play with the pricing of our different products. And you realize that the banks across will probably have almost similar Forex exchange. But then when it comes to the actual price of sending, we now start differentiating ourselves from that. So it becomes expensive at Forex, which is limited control, but we have a lot of control on how much you spend when you are actually remitting. Yeah.
All right. Please, you can give us a call on the numbers on your screen. You can also text us via 21222 for any questions you have. Wewe ni ule jamaa kutuma pesa Somalia na unashanga. What is the difference between Dahabshil and all these other services that we do have? Of course, we welcome your comments as well on social media at K24 TV, as across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Josephine, the technology behind all this also can get really complicated, and probably that's what also is bringing some of these expenses onto us. For instance, different banks will have different needs in terms of, like, they have rapid transfer. Other banks only have Western Union, others have MoneyGram, and so on and so forth. Is the technology the same? Tuanzie hapo.
The communication is the same. Yes, the communication is the same.
Let
me say also the technology is the same. The reason why it becomes expensive is also because the person sending and the person receiving, facilitating the sending and the receiving, needs to earn a commission. So because of that, well, when you're sending money, I believe that you asked who do you want to cater for the charges. Yes, so.
So I can choose whether I'm the one to cater or
the other person can, or the recipient can cater.
Okay, all right.
So I believe that is where it becomes expensive. The other thing is, of course, you need to maintain the technology. It has a lifespan. It has a life shell. Yes, it doesn't. It doesn't only go on and on and on.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so she has brought in something interesting about who will take care of the transfer. And that is why, for example, I will take M-Pesa for example. Transferring, I think, is it 100 bob? You will be charged 10 bob, but transferring 1,000 bob, I think is 27. Like, why do we have different charges and not necessarily a percentage, like you said, 9% for, you know, X amount of money?
So depending on the service provider, so if, for example, Western Union, they have developed the technology for us to speak to Western Union.
Right.
But we are not the originators of Western Union. We are only an agent for Western Union. So it means that for me to run this service in my branch, there has to be a portion that I remain in business.
Okay.
Because I'm an agent. However, if the product is mine, so they develop a product specific to EcoBank, there's no extra charge that I'll incur except in maintaining her system.
All right.
So the cost is then ceasing to be a percentage. It's now my money fully. Now what happens is you can choose, the system provides you to choose the sender to incur the cost or the recipient to incur a cost. But in scenarios of mobile money, like you've said, M-Pesa, you don't have that option.
Okay.
So the sender automatically incurs the cost.
Right.
However, you can speak, the sender can speak to the recipient to reverse back my money.
Yes.
So if I'm giving you 100 bob, I'm going to incur a cost of 10 bob.
Right.
I'll tell you, I'm going to send you less the 10 bob.
So I'll send you like, I don't know, 90 bob or something.
Yes. So what we have resolved to do is to speak to the software company to be able to improvise for that. So as the banks, we are providing the customer a solution not to incur that less. So I'm going to receive 100 bob, why are you giving me less?
Right.
So the technology now helps the customer decide who pays the charge. So the agreement between the two people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Helen, for you said sometimes you opt to carry money in your handbag. Ama wewe ni wale mnaekanga huko kwa socks. You wear a jumper and then you wear a raincoat. Actually, before I ask you that question, we have Maura from Wangige. Good morning, Maura.
Yes, good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm okay.
What is your question or comment?
My question is...
Right.
If I have a bank account here...
Yes.
...and I have a Visa card...
Right.
What are the costs of when I deposit money here and I use it across with my Visa card?
Okay.
Yes. How is it possible through EcoBank or these other banks?
Okay.
And the cost of, of that transaction?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Maura. He's basically asking, I'm sure the question is straightforward, but and is there a standard rate or each bank has got their own?
Each bank has their own.
So what is EcoBank's?
So at the point of opening an account, EcoBank automatically gives you a card.
All right.
Okay. So the card, the cost is within your initial deposit. So if your deposit is 1,000, take off just a little bit of 200 shillings, and you'll have a card.
Okay.
Yeah. But it differs from bank to bank.
All right.
Yeah.
And before I ask her the question I wanted to ask, sometimes you find when you want to do like an international what do I call purchase, for whether you're doing it via Amazon or you're even trying to pay for a plane ticket, sometimes you find it difficult to use your Visa card. And I don't know if it happens with EcoBank, but there's some cards that will not allow you to pay unless you go back to your bank and authorize, and yet it is Visa.
See, things to do with money transfer, there's a lot of security. The customer has to be safe and sure that their money is going to go to where it's going.
Okay.
So the customer has to authorize. So
I have to call the bank and tell them I'm trying to pay for a flight.
No. We make ours easy. I don't know your experience with other banks.
All right.
But ours, technology has supported, and you can confirm with just your mobile phone or your email.
All right.
So at the point of purchase, you receive a notification that you're trying to purchase.
Okay.
And it will ask you for a one-time password,
OTP.
which is in your hands.
Yes.
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 So you input that password that you'll have received on your phone to confirm the purchase.
Okay.
You don't necessarily have to call the bank. You'll only call the bank if the transaction is failing.
Okay.
For whatever reason, maybe you have low balances on your account and the transaction is failing.
Right.
Or sometimes the integration back end with the merchant. For example, she's buying clothes from Turkey. There are certain shops that will not permit Visa payments, for example.
All right.
Or they will not accept cards from a particular part of the country or a particular part of the continent.
Right.
So it has different reasons why it would fail. But at EcoBank, we give you the opportunity to confirm your payment to be sure that you're then trying to make the transaction. Because we know about fraud.
Yeah.
Someone can pick your card and decide to do.
It's true.
We can talk about it more.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Helen, before we take a break, there's a question of which we'll answer after the break. Of course, there are certain amounts of money you cannot be allowed to carry across borders and even on flights.
Yes.
Yeah. So how do you tackle that? We take a short break, and when we come, that question, of course, much from you. Remember, the numbers are on your screen. Twitter as well at K24 TV. Instagram as well. You can SMS 21222. Right now, though, we take a short break. We'll be right back.